To our colleagues present here, Engineer Camposano, Madam Jen Barrias, Engineer April Anticristo, Engineer Villa representing the TWG. We have Ma'am Fe Ramos of the Secretariat, Ma'am Mika Tambagan, Ma'am Pichi Chato, Engineer Carl, si Engineer Carl, and si Sir Fahad. Good morning, and to our televiewers. Today is the pre-bid conference of our proposed opening of 5 projects on November 19, 2024. And these projects are all under CY 2025 based on the National Expenditure Program. And this is just an early procurement activity, meaning these projects have no funding yet. Awaiting for the receipt of the GAA 2025. So, we wish sana that the proposed contractors are present here in our conference room, because this is the proper venue for you all to ask questions, to raise your concerns regarding this upcoming activity. However, to our dismay, there is no one witnessing us here, but we believe that you are all viewing our live stream. So these projects, the basic contract data of these projects are the following. First, we have 25 MC 0057. This is construction, open course completion of multipurpose building, Barangay Manongol, Kidapawan City. This is a completion of 2-story building with an approved budget of contract of 1,980,000 to be completed within 30 calendar days. The next is 25 MC 0015. This is widening of bridge, small Mateo bridge, open close B 00247 MN along Kidapawan-Magpet-Pangao-an Road Phase 2. And the brief description of this project is in kilometer 1621 plus 121.5 to kilometer 1621 plus 330.60. This is actually a completion of widening of bridge 2 to 4 lanes with bridge approaches, and this has an approved budget for contract of 14,700,000 pesos to be completed within 194 calendar days. Another is 25 MC 0032, Rehabilitation of Binay and Nowa Bridge Revetment along Magpet-Nowa-Doroluman-Greenfield Road, Magpet North, Cotabato. And this is a rehabilitation or major repair of flood control structure or reinforced concrete revetment with steel sheet pile foundation, open close 2 berms and a height of 6.50 meters. And this has an approved budget for contract of 6,860,000 pesos to be completed within 149 calendar days. Another is 25 MC 0072. This is the construction of multipurpose building, Barangay Concepcion, open close MIST in Makilala, North Cotabato. This is a complete construction of 9.5 by 32 meter 2-story building with 6 classrooms, academic building mostly built with concrete and masonry, with PWD ramp and handrails, parapet wall on concrete gutter, and complete with electrical works, sanitary plumbing works with fire escape, water tank, and dry standpipe system. And this has an approved budget for contract of 19,842,188 pesos and 79 centavos to be completed within 210 calendar days. And the last but not the least is contract ID number 25MC 0074. This is construction of multipurpose building. This is actually covered court at Sitio 114, Barangay Binoligan, Kidapawan City. Still, this is construction of multipurpose building, 20 by 30 meters, no, forward court. And this has an approved budget for contract of 4,950,000 pesos to be completed within 120 calendar days or 4 months. So, these are all the basic contract data, and the deadline of our submission of your bid proposal will be at 9 o'clock in the morning on November 19, 2024 at the Procurement Unit, DPWH COTABATO 2nd District Engineering Office based in Lanao, Kidapawan City, in which the opening will follow immediately after closing the bid box at 9 o'clock. So, that's all for the data, for the basic contract data of those projects. And now I'm turning over the floor to our Secretariat for more details on the technical, financial, and other aspects that needed in your bidding documents.
Good morning to everyone. Okay, for the cost of bidding documents of the following projects, for 25 MC0057, 5,000 pesos. For 25 MC0015 is 25,000 pesos. 25 MC0032, 10,000 pesos. 25 MC0072, 25,000 pesos, and for 25 MC0074, 5,000 pesos. The source of funds are all CY 2025 regular infrastructure, and these contracts are to be procured under the early procurement activities or EPA. These projects are also posted from October 30 to November 19, 2024 at PhilJEB's website, Conspicuous Place, and DPWH website. Section 2, Instruction to Bidders. Eligible bidders. Only bids of bidders found to be legally, technically, and financially capable will be evaluated. The bidder must have an experience of having completed a single largest completed contract that is similar to this project, equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC adjusted, if necessary, by the bidder to current prices using the PAS CPI, except under conditions provided for in Section 23.4.2.4 of the 2016 revised IRR RA 9184. Subcontracting is not allowed. Bid security shall submit a bid securing declaration or any form of bid security in the amount indicated in the bid data sheet, which shall be not less than the percentage of the ABC in accordance with the schedule in the PDS. The amount of not less than 2% of ABC if bid security is in cash, cashier's manager's check, bank draft, guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit for the following projects. 25 MC0057, 2% of the ABC is 39,600 pesos. And 25 MC0015, 2% of the ABC is 294,000 pesos. 25 MC0032, 2% is 137,200. For 25 MC0072, 2% of the ABC is 396,843 pesos, 0.78. And for 25 MC0074, 99,000 pesos. And for 5%, amount of not less than 5% of ABC if bid security is in surety bond, callable upon demand, issued by surety or insurance commission duly certified by the insurance commission as authorized to issue such security. For 25 MC0057, 5% is 99,000 pesos. 25 MC0015, 735,000 pesos. 25 MC0032, 343,000 pesos. 25 MC0072, 992,109.44. And for 25 MC0074, 247,500 pesos. The bid and bid security shall be valid until March 19, 2025. Any bid not accompanied by an acceptable bid security shall be rejected by the procuring entity as non-responsive. Thank you.
To continue, for the documents comprising the bid, eligibility and technical components, the first envelope shall contain the eligibility and technical documents of the bid as specified in Section 9, Checklist of Technical and Financial Documents. For the documents to be submitted by the bidders, for technical component of the bid, which is the Class A documents, its legal documents is the valid certificate of PhilJEP's registration, which is a platinum membership. For the technical documents, statement of the bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. And also the statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract similar to the contract to be bid. If joint venture, with special pickup license and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid if applicable. Then we also have the original copy of bid security if in the form of a surety bond. Submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. For the project requirements, which shall include the following: 1. Organizational chart for the contract to be bid. 2. List of contractors' key personnel, example, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, and foremen, to be assigned to the contract to be bid with their complete qualification and experience data. 3rd, list of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project as the case may be. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement and, if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign DOSS and do acts to represent the bidder. And 8, certification as to key personnel per DO number 9 series of 2012. For the financial documents, the prospective bidders' audited financial statement showing, among others, the bidder's total and current assets and liabilities, stamped, received by the BIR or its duly accredited or authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. The bidder's net financial contracting capacity or NFCC computation and statement of total assets and liabilities. For the Class B documents, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement in accordance with RA number 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence, or the duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. Documents comprising the bid for the financial component, that the second bid envelope shall contain the financial documents for the bid as specified in Section 9, the checklist of technical and financial documents. 1. Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form. 2. Original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities. 3. Duly accomplished detailed estimates form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials,
labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid, and fourth, the cash flow by quarter. So for other details, I will forward the microphone to the head of the procurement unit.
Thank you, Ma'am Pinkay. To continue, the following reminders to the bidders. If not enrolled in Civil Works Application or CWA, valid pickup license and registration, statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, single largest completed contract, net financial contracting capacity, computation, and statement of total assets and liabilities, audited financial statement, and if joint venture with special pickup license and registration for the type and cost of the contract for this project, and JBA if applicable. If already enrolled in the CWA, eligibility documents to be updated, if any. Valid certificate of field jobs registration membership shall be updated with the current and updated Class A eligibility documents covered by Section 8.5.2 of 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184. Example, registration certificate, mayor's, business permit, tax clearance, pickup license and registration, and audited financial statements. If these documents are not updated otherwise, shall result in the automatic suspension of the validity of its certificate of platinum registration and membership as per GPPB Resolution Number 15-2021. The bidder can edit, update, and generate the updated certificate immediately. Next, assign key personnel of the contractor that is indicated under the bid data sheet of the bidding documents, that he/she must be different person assigned in the contract to be bid and not the same person holding its key position. Another, PRC ID and tax ID of the key personnel must be updated and clear copy. Each partner of the joint venture shall submit the respective field job certificates of registration in accordance with Section 8.5.2 of this IRR. The submission of technical and financial eligibility documents by any of the joint venture partners constitutes compliance, provided that the partner responsible to submit the NFCC shall likewise submit the statement of all of its ongoing contracts and audited financial statements. Next, GPPB Resolution Number 16-2020, approving the circular and the guidelines in the preparation of the simplified bidding documents for goods and infra projects and submission of the required forms for the procurement of goods, infrastructure projects, and consulting services with related amendments to the 2016 revised IRR of RE 9184. The required forms are already included in the bidding documents. Example, the Omnibus Sworn Statement has 10 statements. DO 36 series of 2015, dated March 11, 2015, disclosure of ongoing contracts by prospective bidders for DPWH infrastructure contracts. The bidder shall use the form DPWH-J a statement of all its ongoing and completed government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any. Whether or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid within the period provided in the bidding documents. Non-compliance with the provisions of this order shall make the concerned bidders liable to the penalties under Section 65.3 of RA 9184 and to the administrative sanctions under Section 69 of RA 9184. Next, DO number 28, series of 2024, dated February 26, 2024, three-strike policy in the procurement of contracts for infrastructure, goods, and consulting services contracts. In order to establish a fair and transparent system for managing offenses committed by bidders in the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services projects through public bidding, the DPWH hereby introduces an updated three-strike policy. This policy is aimed at enforcing adherence to the procurement guidelines stipulated under Section 69.1.I of the 2016 revised implementing rules and regulations of RA 9184. Under this policy, if a bidder commits 3 offenses acts described as all other acts that tend to defeat the purpose of competitive bidding, they shall be subjected to an administrative penalty. These offenses acts are further classified into three major categories as enumerated: withdrawal from the bidding process, submission of non-participation letter, or failure to submit a bid after purchasing the bid documents. However, the Bids and Awards Committee recognizes certain valid reasons for these actions. 2. Submission of late bids without valid reasons as determined by the PAC. Exceptions will be considered under extraordinary circumstances such as force majeure. This refers to unexpected and unavoidable external events that impede or prevent a bidder from timely bid submission, as defined in Article 1174 of the Philippine Civil Code. 3. Submission of patently insufficient bid. A patently insufficient bid refers to a bid that fails to include or comply with certain mandatory requirements. The determination of whether bidder committed such an offense may occur as outlined during eligibility screening and or shortlisting, during bid evaluation, or during post-qualification. Bidders were reminded to diligently review and scrutinize their documents to avoid any violations. For more details of this DO number 28, series of 2024, strike policy in the procurement of infra, goods, and consulting services contracts. Department Order number 87, electronic submission and receipt of bids for the procurement of civil works contracts. Department Order number 11, series of 2017, inclusion of the minimum materials testing equipment in the technical component of the bid. Department Order number 9, series of 2012, technical requirements for civil works projects for public bidding under item number 6, which states, if a proposed key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the time of the bidding shall submit a certification, the personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract, and she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office. Under item number 7, the bidder may propose a key technical personnel who is not its employee, provided that the said personnel is required to submit a certification that she will work for the bidder if it is awarded the contract under bidding. The certification under item number 6 or 7 shall be included in the first envelope of the sealed bid. Department Order number 148, series of 2024, guidelines on the accreditation and assignment of contractors and consultants project engineers. Only accredited project engineers may be assigned to DPWH projects subject to the following limits of assignment. For regional office, district offices, classification, PE2, limits of assignment, 10 contracts located within the same region for simultaneous assignments but with an aggregate cost of 1.5 billion. PE1, 10 contracts located within the same region for simultaneous assignments, each costing not more than 150 million but with an aggregate cost of 1.1 billion. Provisional project engineer, 10 contracts located within the same region for simultaneous assignments, each costing not more than 100 million but with an aggregate cost of 500 million. Department Order number 98, series of 2016, revised guidelines on the accreditation of contractors, consultants, materials engineers. To ensure that only qualified and competent materials engineers will be assigned by contractors and consultants to DPWH projects, despite the significant increase in the number of projects to be implemented by the department, these revised guidelines on the accreditation of contractors, consultants, materials engineers are hereby prescribed. Item number 5 of the said department order states that accredited materials engineers may be assigned to DPWH projects subject to the following limits of assignment. Classification under materials engineer 1, limits of assignment, 1 project costing not more than 150 million or 2 projects with an aggregate cost of not more than 250 million or 3 projects with an aggregate cost of not more than 200 million. For materials engineer 2, 1 project no cost limit, or 2 projects with an aggregate cost of not more than 300 million, or 3 projects with an aggregate cost of not more than 250 million. Non-accredited materials engineers may be assigned to the 3 projects with an aggregate cost of 15 million or below. This order shall take effect immediately and supersedes the following issuances: Department Order Number 184, Series of 1999, Department Orders Number 60, Series of 2003, and Department Order Number 55, Series of 2012. Another reminder, memorandum dated March 6, 2023, issued by Secretary Manuel M. Bunuan with the subject reiteration of department policies, issuances on the sale of bidding documents and enrollment in the civil works application prior bidding. Particularly item number 1 that states, in accordance with the department's citizens charter and a numbered memo that dated December 27, 2021, only the following documents are required from prospective bidders prior to the sale of bidding documents: company ID or any government issued ID, authorization letter, if not authorized, liaison officer in the CWA, special power of attorney for sole proprietorship or board, partnership, joint venture resolution with secretary certificate for corporation, partnership, joint venture, cooperative. These department orders is downloadable in the DPWH website and GPPB resolution in GPPB website for full details, instructions stated in the guidelines for reference of the bidders. Sealing and marking of bids. The bidder shall submit 1 original and 1 clear duly marked certified photocopy of the first technical and second financial components of its bid. Deadline for submission of bids of bid proposal on November 19, 2024 on or before 9 a.m. at the procurement unit, and followed immediately the opening of bids 9 a.m. at the conference room 1, second floor building 1, DPWH COTABATO, 2nd DEO, Lanao, Kidapawan City. Thank you.
Last is we would like the viewers to know what is in the section 3 or the bid data sheet. ITB clause 5.2 requires that for contract ID 25 MC 57, 72, and 74, the major category of work should be BICWOPLC, buildings, that is construction without piles, low-rise, concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. For 25 MC 015, the major category of work should be BCCWOP, bridges, construction, concrete superstructure without piles. And for 25 MC 0032, FCSPS, flood control, construction, slope protection using structural measures such as revetment, retaining structures, wire net. For ITB clause 10.3, for 25 MC 057, the pickup license should have a size range of small b for building construction. For 25 MC 015, small b for bridge construction. For 25 MC 0032, we would like to inform that we issued supplemental bulletin number 26 dated November 6, 2024, correcting the previous published ITB clause 10.3 of the bid data sheet, because we would like to correct that the contractor's pickup license should have a size range of small b for flood control and not for building construction. Another is 25 MC 0072. For this, we did not yet, the supplemental bulletin is not yet published, is not yet issued, but we will issue it today because we would like to correct that the size range should not be medium A. Instead, it should be small b for buildings. Please, we will issue the supplemental bulletin and we will give it to the bidders who already purchased the bidding documents, madam. For 25 MC 0074, the size range should be small b for building construction. Further, for ITB clause 10.4 or the key personnel of the contractor, the key personnel must meet the required minimum years of experience. For project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, and foreman, they should have completed or they should have a general experience in the same position for at least 5 years. For construction safety and health officer, we required at least 3 years. Additional requirement, for project manager, we required PRC ID, if applicable, and TIN ID. For project engineer, he or she should submit PRC ID and TIN ID. He should be an accredited contractor's project engineer to handle projects pursuant to DEO 148 series of 2024. For materials engineer, please submit PRC ID, TIN ID, and the Certificate of Accreditation SME pursuant to DEO 98 series of 2016. For the CSH officer or the construction safety and health officer, we require that you should submit certificate of training as safety officer and TIN ID. For foreman, submit TIN ID. Additional requirement, please provide PTR for those professional key personnel. For ITB clause 10.5, that is the major equipment requirements, please refer to the published bidding documents as we listed the equipment description, capacity, and number of equipment required in each of the contracts to be bid. Additional reminder, as per DO number 11 series of 2017, inclusion of the minimum testing materials equipment in the technical component of the bid should be attached. And finally, as per DO number 253 series of 2003, or the accreditation of asphalt and Portland cement concrete batching plants, please attach certificate of accreditation of the batching plants. For the general conditions of the contract, special conditions of the contracts, the specifications, the drawings, and the bill of quantities, since there is no prospective bidder here, please refer to the published bidding documents, which can be downloaded in the DPWH website, in the PhilJEP's website, and please refer to that documents and sila na lang po ang mag-scrutinize. If ever na may mga question po, please free to contact the procurement unit. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am April, Ma'am Fe, and Ma'am Pichi for your very detailed explanation on the requirements of our upcoming bidding, including the manpower requirements based on our department issuances, their qualifications, their technical expertise, their licenses, and other required documents to support their personality or qualifications, including the equipment requirements and other documents needed for your proposal. So, is there any more additional information? No more. So, since hearing none, I now declare this pre-bid conference for those 5 projects adjourned. Thank you for viewing, thank you for listening, and thank you for coming here, Madam's answers. Good morning. Okay, dapat meeting. Pero bakit dili na niya live stream? since ano ba, diretso na po ha, ang ato ang consultancy, di ba, we shortlisted 2 bidders.